Minasan, konnichiwa, Zamurai Engineer desu. So again, we are discussing NFPA101, the Life Safety Code. We are currently in part 2 module number 8, and the fourth subtopic, which deals with construction types. So I'm your professor, Dr. Ipy Zantua. I'm an alumni of Polytechnic University of Japan as a Japan government scholar. So we have to start with our code objective, which is to minimize danger to life from fire, which involves smoke, heat, and toxic gases. Mission continuity and property protection in both new construction and existing buildings. So we are currently on the module number 8, as we said, and under which we are on the fourth subtopics, which is construction type. So we have stories, construction types, different classifications. Okay? Type 1, Type 2, protected, Type 2, unprotected, Type 3, Type 4, and Type 5. So there are 6 different types. So minimum construction requirements for certain occupancies must be met. Okay, so this is also with the reference from NFPA 220 and NFPA 5000. Okay, so NFPA 101, it is actually on subsection 8.2.1. You can see the this different type classification of construction. Okay, so let us one by one explain what do we mean by these different types. Starting from type 1, it is a type wherein combustibility is a major factor in establishing the construction type. Okay. Type 1 construction is the least combustible and most fire-resistive construction type. So the type of material, type of construction is the most resistive. Which material do you think is the most resistive? Steel, concrete, wood, okay, glass. Okay. So which do you think? So we think that the most fire resistive is the concrete. Okay, concrete, the most resistive type. Okay, so let us continue with the next type. So type 2, protected. Type 2 construction is the next most resistive construction type. Type 2 construction generally contains structural members made of steel. So generally, it uses steel, as you can see on the picture. So as you can see on the picture, it is concrete. As you can see on the picture, there are steel structural members. The structural members used in type 2 protected construction are protected and have a fire resistance rating. So these materials have satisfied the standard and has a rating, fire rating. Okay. What about type 2, unprotected? So unprotected type 2 construction also generally contains structural members made of steel, as the same you can see. But the thing is, it is type 2 unprotected because these materials do not have fire rating. The materials used don't have or did not pass the fire rating. So it is very important to be fire rated. Okay? Particularly if you are using steel as the structural element. Okay? What about type number 3? Okay. Type number 3 construction is generally referred to as conventional construction and is best viewed as a mix of two extremes of construction types. It contains non-combustible, limited combustible, or fire retardant treated wood exterior walls that are required to be of 2-hour fire resistance, which mimics many of the characteristics of type 1 and type 2. So it could also be wood construction. Type 1 could also be wood construction. But the thing is, the wood must have a fire rating. And the fire rating is about 2 hours. Okay? 2 hours fire resistance rating. Okay? The interior of a type 3 building is allowed to be any type of construction, including wood, without a fire resistive rating. So since it does not have a fire rating, okay, it is included in type 3 rather than type 1 or type 2. Okay? So type 1 is concrete or wood or extreme, combination of extreme, type 3. Okay? So without a fire resistive rating, which is characteristic of type 5 construction. Okay? What about type 4? Type 4 construction is the fourth most fire-resistive construction type and is generally composed of heavy timber members. Okay? Fourth most resistive. So type 1 is the most resistive. Okay? See NFPA 220 for the minimum dimensions of timbers must be to qualify as type 4 construction. So there are specific requirements given by NFPA 220 in this type of construction, type 4. Okay. What about type 5? Construction is generally known as wood frame construction. So the structural members are wood frame. So buildings permitted to be built of type 5 construction can be built entirely of combustible materials or any combination of any material. Type 5 construction is the least fire resistive construction type permitted by the code. So at least it is permitted by the code, but it is the least fire resistive type of construction. Okay, so the structural members are also made of wood. Okay. Again, that's the end of our lecture in this video. This is Dr. AP saying engineering is for nation building.